Hi, this is Francine. I want to talk this morning about people over 50 years old. People over 50 years old are people that is under 50. It is important for when you reach 50 years old for you to have a bone and density test. Now, a lot of doctors don't tell you about the bone density test because you have a lot of people that walking around with aches and pain in their body and they think it's normal and they think it's arthritis or they think, oh, because I'm getting older, that's why I'm having these aches in my body, all over my body. It's not normal. No one's supposed to be in pain. But you have to go to the doctor and let the doctor send you a referral to a specialist. You know, when I mean a specialist, they're going to send you to a specialist, or the doctor herself or himself could send you to a radiology, to the radiologist for a bone and density test. When you go and have a bone and density test, is very important because that's the only way you could tell if something is wrong with your bones. Because some major, minor aches and pain is more serious than you think it is. So with a bone density test, it could let you know what is going on with your body. A bone density test, I can't hardly pronounce the word. A bone density test will let you know if you have osteoporosis or if you is developing osteoporosis. And the procedure is very important. And the procedure, it don't take more than 15 minutes, if that long, for them to scan your body. Just let you lay down and seem like an MRI machine, and they just run a scan over your body to see if whether or not you have the bone density test. No, to give you a bone density test. Now, when you have that test, while you're at the radiologist, they can't tell you nothing right then because they're going to send all the information to your doctor. Then you might hear from the doctor on a week later. They call you to the office so they could explain things to you. Now, if you have a bone density test, they may find out that you have osteoporosis or you're developing osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is when your bone is weak and getting brittle, are looking like a cottage cheese, like little craters in your bone. The bone is very weak, and that is easy for you to get broken bones. Because if you slip and fall, you could break your hips instantly. If you pick up something too heavy, you could break your joint, you could break your arm. If you just a simple fall, or you bump into something, your bone can be easily break. A lot of people believe that when you break your hips, is when you fall. Some people said, oh, I fall and I break my hips. No, that's not what happened. Take it from me. You break your hips and then you fall. You could be walking or standing up and your hips just slipped out. Then you fall. You don't fall and break your hips. You break your hips before you fall. That is what makes you fall. So it's good to have a bone density test. So if you are suspecting these symptoms, you need to adjust it with your doctor, suggest it, ask questions. Ask the doctor, do you think I need a bone density test? Because they have to refer you for the test. You can't just go into a radiology and say, oh, I need a bone density test. It don't work that way. The doctor has to send you there. And if you find out that something in your body is not right, you got to insist to get that bone density test. Because once the doctor knows that's what you have, they're gonna start to they send you to a lab, and they're gonna give you infusion. They got an infusion. It lasts like, just say half an hour. They hook you up, on the IV, and they give you medication that goes through your body. And you got to have that once a year. Once a year you get it. And they have another one where they give you a needle every 6 months. Every 6 months you get a needle. But when you get the infusion once a year, at the end of that year, they give you another bone density test to see if your bones is getting stronger. Because this infusion is to make your bone get stronger. So if in 1 year your bones start getting stronger, you may not get a bone density test. You're going to get the bone density test, but you won't get another infusion. But body have to be checked every once in a while, I say every 6 months or once a year, to see how your bone is doing. Because it's important to have your bones checked. Because you will end up with broken bones that cannot be mended. And you need the medication. They've given it to you with vitamins. You get vitamins to build your bone too, with the infusion. So it's very good to pay attention to your body and don't just buy Tylenol or taking painkiller. You got to have your bones checked. And a lot of people don't have their bones checked. You have to. I would say from the age of 50 years old, you should start having your bones checked. Because after you reach certain age, after you reach 50, the body slowly start deteriorating. The body deteriorates. And at 60, it start deteriorating more. That's why you're having all these muscle loss, aches and pain, don't know where it's coming from, but you have to pay attention to your body. You have to go to the doctor too and make sure they check you for diabetes. Make sure you're not diabetic. Because if you're diabetic, you got to catch it in an early stage. You got to always go to the doctor. Don't just think you are right. Because sometimes the body will show you red flag and sometimes it don't. You always have to have your blood pressure checked. You have to. Because high blood pressure is a silent killer. You could have a heart attack and you could have a stroke. You have to have a blood pressure machine in your house, you know, the thing you check your pressure with. I don't remember the name right now. I have one. I check my blood pressure every morning and I check it before I go to my bed. You have to always check your blood pressure. Don't take your life for granted. You got to pay attention to yourself. If you're feeling too tired all the time, you go to the doctor. Maybe you need vitamin B12. And maybe your electrolytes are out of place. So you have to go to the doctor and have your electrolytes checked, you know? And that will tell you if your B12 is too low or your iron is too low. Because some of these things, you can't just take pills. You need IV. B12, you need an injection once a month if it's too low. If your iron is too low, you got to be hooked up on an IV. They give you iron because sometimes the iron gets so low, it's emergency. So the pills, taking iron pills will not help you if your iron is very low. You got to take care of yourself. And this is one of my very serious YouTube talking with my subscribers and the ones that following me, watching me. This is very serious. This is nothing like I like to tell jokes, but this is serious. This is not a joke. You know, you got to be very careful. Take care of yourself. You got children, you got daughters and sons, mothers, sisters, and even the mothers. You got to take care of yourself for your children. There's so many help out there. Don't wait until it's too late. Please don't wait until it's too late. Start taking care of yourself. This is Francine signing off. I wish all of you the best. And God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. If you subscribe, you will always see me. If you like me and you want to see me, please subscribe. You know, I try to share information that I know can help people. I mean, sometimes I share jokes and stuff, but this is not a joke. This is very serious. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.